for Ivory Coast being brothers from the continent, but that's how it ended. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomoa with the newsroom team coming in with news tonight. Let's start with a look at the headlines. President Museveni orders inquiry into NMG service disruptions. Activist and former ethics minister Dr. Miriam Matembe charged with promotion of sectarianism. Much in the court adjourned due to Lukwago's ill health. While Dr. Besigye directed to appoint other lawyers other than Lukwago and Martha Karua. Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. Elizabeth Nakakoni will join us in a few seconds. It's news tonight. Borrowing a leaf from what's happening in Venezuela, where earthquakes have torn apart the country, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has renewed the call to have a clear guidance from experts about Uganda's readiness to handle earthquakes of high magnitude. The executive order, which dates from 2023, according to the president, has since then not been effected and now calls for expeditious response from the relevant ministries. We have details.
I'm issuing the executive order under the authority given to the President by Article 99, Clause 1 of the 1995 Constitution of Uganda. I'm doing this on the account of laxity of certain government organs in relation to their responses to NRM's government policies and guidelines. The civil engineers of the Ministry of Works and Housing, Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, those of the Ministry of Local Governments, those of Kampala Capital City Authority and the local governments to within 2 years from audit and document all the permanent buildings in their respective areas of jurisdiction as to their strength in case of earthquake. They should in particular audit the high-rise buildings, starting with those of the ground floor plus 1 floor. The bungalows can be done at last. Secondly, the civil engineers of the Ministry of Works and Transports, those of the Ministry of Local Government, working with the ones of the public universities to determine for the country and inform me within 12 months from now the minimum strength of the different types of permanent buildings, the bungalows, the storage buildings, and others. Should the building standards cater for the 9 points on the Richter scale like the Virika Cathedral did, or should they be stronger? The engineer-in-chief of the Ministry of Works and Transport, under the supervision of the minister, to supervise this. In doing this, they should consult other civil engineers abroad, such as the ones in Japan. How did Japan tame earthquakes? I last heard of people dying from earthquakes in Japan in the 1950s. A year from today, once the state civil engineers have determined for us the minimum standards of building, no permanent building should be built anywhere in Uganda that does not conform to those building standards. Once the minimum building standards in the relation to the earthquakes have been determined, the question would be, what should we do to those buildings that will not qualify, especially the storage ones? are there ways their defects can be rectified? The state and other knowledgeable engineers will advise.
UBC News Tonight. President Yoweri Museveni has ordered security agencies to institute an inquiry into Nation Media Group operations. Minister for ICT and National Guidance Justin Kasule Lumumba revealed this while addressing the press at the Uganda Media Center in Kampala. She says that operations will resume after the investigations are concluded.
The Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Honorable Justin Kasule Lumumba, has issued a statement regarding the closure of the Nation Media Group. According to the Minister, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Retired Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, directed for a security inquiry into the operations of the Nation Media Group that led to the temporary suspension of its operations.
The inquiry involves the Uganda People's Defense Forces, the Criminal Investigations Directorate of the Uganda Police Force, other security agencies and experts. Government will inform the public once the inquiry is concluded.
Now, when asked whether the process respects the media space and press freedom, the minister stated that the government has worked with quite a number of media houses and the Nation Media Group services will resume as soon as the investigations are concluded.
That everything is done under the law. Everything is done under the law. If it had been done by the Ministry of ICT, it would mean going step by step of the law. But when it comes to security, it supersedes everything. It is security, security is security.
The Nation Media Group has suffered closure on different occasions. In 2007, barely 2 months after launching the NTV Uganda, it was forced to go off air following accusations by the government that its coverage was overly negative. Now, in 2013, police sealed off the Daily Monitor offices and shut down Dembe FM for about 10 days. This was due to the fact that they had published a letter linking to the Muhoozi project. And now in 2026, the President of the Republic of Uganda has directed for a security inquiry, and until the investigations are concluded, NMG will still be off air.
More than 1,700 people have been killed in what interim President Delcy Rodriguez said was the most brutal natural catastrophe in Venezuela's history. In the port of La Guaira, one of the hardest hit cities, reports say that people are using crowbars, mallets and pickaxes to try to dig out loved ones and neighbors. Tens of thousands of people are still believed to be missing. Many areas of Venezuela, devastated by last week's twin earthquakes, have yet to receive significant government help, leaving residents to carry out much of the rescue effort. Early on Monday, nerves were frayed by an aftershock, although no further damage was reported. International aid has been mobilized, but hopes of finding survivors are fading. Overnight into Monday, a 21-year-old man became the latest person to be pulled alive after being trapped over 100 hours. The magnitude 7.2 and 7.5 quakes on Wednesday struck within 39 seconds of each other in the north state of Guaira, causing almost 800 buildings to collapse. Monday's aftershock again shook the city and the capital, Caracas, and was measured at 4.6 magnitude. On Monday, Rodriguez said that more than 25,000 emergency workers, police officers and soldiers had been assisting Venezuelans affected by the earthquakes. She also announced a commission to assess the damage, to be chaired by her brother, National Assembly President George Rodriguez. Speaking on the state television, she said that the group would determine who could return home using a color code traffic light system to classify safety. Temporary camps to house those displaced were being set up in the meantime. Government has called upon State House staff to strengthen implementation accountability and service delivery as the situation launched its strategic development plan, client charter and service delivery standards. The documents were launched today at Sheraton Kampala Hotel by Minister of State for Economic Monitoring, Sandra Alum Ogwang, who represented the Minister for Presidency, Millie Babalanda. Speaking on behalf of the Minister for Presidency, Babalanda, Ogwang commended State House staff for their dedication and professionalism in supporting the presidency and congratulated them for their contribution to the successful conclusion of the recently concluded general elections. She, however, emphasized that the work ahead remains enormous as government embarks on implementing its commitments under the 2026-2031 National Resistance Movement Manifesto and the 4th National Development Plan. The minister further reminded staff of President Yoweri Museveni's recent directive that the new term would be characterized by no more sleep and no more corruption, calling upon all public servants to embrace hard work, integrity and accountability. She also highlighted Uganda's ambitious tenfold growth strategy, which seeks to expand the country's economy from approximately $50 billion to $500 billion by the year 2040, saying that the target demands greater efficiency and commitment across government institutions. Ogwang observed that State House plays a critical role in providing technical, logistical and administrative support to the presidency, noting that institution's newly launched strategic development plan translates the president's vision and national aspirations into practical actions. Earlier, the State House Controller, Jen Bareche, described the launch as the culmination of a deliberate and consultative process aimed at strengthening institutional capacity to effectively support the President and the Vice President in executing their constitutional responsibilities. She said that the strategic development plan provides a comprehensive framework for institutional planning, resource allocation, performance and management, and organizational growth, while the client charter and service delivery standards reinforce accountability, transparency, and continuous improvement in service delivery. The hearing of Advocate Arias Lukwago's misprision of treason case failed to proceed today after he was unable to appear in court due to ill health, according to his lead counsel, Medard Lubega Segona. Lukwago had been scheduled to appear before the Machinde Chief Magistrate's Court for the mention of the case of misprision of treason in which he was charged last week.
Time check was 8 a.m. Members of Lukwago's legal team, relatives, friends and supporters had gathered at the Machinde Chief Magistrate's Court for the scheduled mention of the misprision of treason case against him. At around 10:30 a.m., lawyers representing both the prosecution and the defense were called into the Chief Magistrate's chambers for a meeting. After the meeting, the lead defense counsel, Medard Lubega Segona, told the media that the court would not proceed because Lukwago was too ill to attend.
The court has adjourned the matter to Tuesday 7th at 9 a.m. That's next week. Again, to continue assessing and reviewing the situation as it continues to unfold. We want to thank you for turning up.
Segona also said the defense had received the information from Lago National Referral Hospital, where Lukwago is currently undergoing further medical treatment.
Prisons authorities wrote to court informing court and us that Honorable Lukwago is not in good condition. He may not be in a position to sustain the pressure of coming to court today. the body's brave, as guided by court, but also informed by his condition.
Kyakulabwa ng'ajjanjabwa ebyo ebisobola okujjanjabibwa e Uganda, wabula ate mulimu okweraliikirira nti waliwo embeera emu gye batasobola kujjanjabira wano ng'amagumba ge baakyusa ku mugongo.
In the absence of the accused, the court adjourned the matter to 7th July 2026 for mention.
Ne baganya abooluganda, baganya abaana, nze neesiga nti omusirikale.
Wali badde ogamba nti kale ono yagenda yatigisa amakole ki amekuba ati bajja ne bakubuuza ali atya musirikale otambo mudamu bya bulimba abo muddemu bituufu.
I'm Ivan Juko and Deborah Namamonde for UBC.
Justice Emmanuel Baguma has directed Dr. Kiza Besigye and Haji Obed Lutale to appoint other lawyers to represent them instead of their lead counsel, Martha Karua and Arias Lukwago, who were absent from court. The directive followed submissions by the defense, which informed court that Martha Karua had allegedly been deported to Kenya, while Arias Lukwago is currently in custody and therefore unable to represent the accused.
Dr. Kiza Besigye, Haji Obed Lutale and Captain Ola Oya Dennis are before the High Court Criminal Division facing charges of treason and misprision of treason, to which they all pleaded not guilty. At the previous court sitting, the accused obtained summons requiring the Chief of Defense Forces General Hose Kainerugaba, Colonel Peter Ahimbisibwe and Lieutenant Colonel Ephraim Karuhanga to appear in court of allegations that they unlawfully extradited the accused from Kenya. The defense was expected to serve the summons on the respondents. However, they told court this could not be done because lawyer Arias Lukwago was arrested before service could be effected, while Martha Karua was allegedly deported. The hearing of the case was expected to resume today, but failed because of the absence of the two lead counsel, Arias Lukwago and Martha Karua.
Our concerns are our ability to come to court, our ability to file rejoinders in that application. And my lord, the respondents cannot commit illegalities and then come to court, represented by lawyers, and claim to have clean hands.
Counsel for the applicant is free in court. The applicants are fully represented.
Through their legal team, also informed the court that they had filed an application before the High Court challenging alleged violations of their right to legal representation and seeking protection for their defense lawyers.
That will go to address matters on non-service of the other respondents.
That there is continuous harassment on the lawyers of the applicants.
That proceedings 227 of 2026 be put on hold.
The Attorney General's representatives opposed the defense's request, arguing that service could still have been effected through the Attorney General's chambers, which had already indicated that they would represent all the respondents.
It would be unjust for the respondents to not seek justice for this court, and this court determines this application is made just because one or two lawyers out of 50 are not present.
After hearing submissions from both sides, Judge Emmanuel Baguma adjourned the matter, but directed Dr. Besigye and Haji Obed Lutale to appoint other lawyers from among the more than 50 advocates on their legal team, instead of relying solely on Martha Karua and Arias Lukwago.
And by that date, 2nd July, the same team of his choice should file written submissions by 1st July.
The judge declined to stay the proceedings, ruling that the application concerning the accused's right to legal representation and security of their lawyers would not halt the trial.
So this application, therefore, will proceed on its own merit, and all the concerns from both sides should be put in their written submissions.
Court also fixed 3rd July 2026 for both the prosecution and the defense to make submissions on the bail application filed by Dr. Kiza Besigye, Haji Obed Lutale and Captain Ola Oya Dennis.
The respondents have not been served. Therefore, they could not have even responded. So now advising us to assemble others who will not run.
I'm Ivan Juko, and Deborah Namamondi for UBC.
Luzira Magistrates Court has charged and remanded activist Miriam Matembe on one count of promoting sectarianism. The prosecution alleges that during a talk show on a media station, Matembe made statements that promoted hatred and hostility against Banyankole women, claiming that taxpayers' money is disproportionately spent on them. As Deborah Namamonde reports, Matembe denied the charge and was remanded to Luzira government prison.
At 3:30 p.m., activist Miriam Matembe was brought at Luzira Magistrates Court under tight security to answer charges that led to her arrest. Unable to walk on her own, she was supported to the courtroom to appear before Magistrate Gloria Atim. The court read to Matembe one count of promoting sectarianism, contrary to Section 38, 1B of the Penal Code Act, Cap 128.
You made or uttered statements to it that all our taxes are being spent on the Banyankole women ministers, which statements are likely to promote hostility, hatred.
Matembe said she had not understood the charges and requested court to explain.
According to the charge sheet, it is alleged that you either printed, either you published, you made or you uttered orally a statement, or you did an act which is likely to promote in any other way feelings of ill will or hostility.
However, Matembe pleaded not guilty to the alleged offense. Prosecution led by Krothum Miriam informed court that investigations are ongoing and asked court for more time to complete the inquiries. Matembe was briefed on her constitutional right to apply for bail. In her response to court, said her health status had deteriorated since her arrest last week.
I was thinking when they thought they were bringing me home, I would go to Sirajim there to go back. I cannot. I'm not running away. I'm a Ugandan citizen. I'm not. Oh my God.
Matembe informed court that she was suffering from severe back pain and asked court to be released on bail.
The human heart, where has it gone? Where I know my back. It is not the doctor who knows it. It is me, and my people know. That's why they were holding me.
However, the presiding magistrate, Gloria Atim, turned down the plea on account of time management.
I'm saying the order that I ordered for you today to go to the hospital, at least I do not know that order. That's why I've asked counsel to explain to me, at least if they could cite for me where the High Court has granted such an order, because
efforts by her lawyers led by Stephen Kalali were futile to secure for her bail.
Unfortunately, the judicial officer, even after hearing this application with no objection from the state, insists that she must be sent to prison. It's like our judicial officers were told that every person who appears before them must be sent to prison.
Miriam Matembe's case was adjourned to 1st July 2026. When court will hear her bail application. Deborah Namamonde, Aisha Msanya, UBC News.
Speaker of Parliament Jacob Maxon Oboth has stressed the need for budgets that deliver tangible outcomes. The Speaker argued that Parliament to prioritize facilitating committee work, including field visits and oversight activities, rather than allocating resources for ceremonial donations to the Speaker, while committees lack the funds needed to perform their constitutional mandate.
Today, 30th June 2026 marks the D-Day for the self-declared deadline set by anti-immigration groups in South Africa, including March and Operation Dudula, demanding that undocumented immigrants leave the country. However, this is not an official South African government deadline, and the South African government has repeatedly stated that only the state has the authority to enforce
rules, you'll realize that...
The six-day induction of members of the 12th Parliament has started at Speak Resort, Munyonyo. The event was officially opened by the Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Maxon Oboth. The induction is part of the foundation processes of the Parliamentary Commission. Speaker Jacob Maxon Oboth revealed 7 strategic pillars that will guide the 12th Parliament in achieving its vision and strengthening its role as an effective legislative institution.
1. Zero tolerance to corruption and cultivating a culture of absolute transparency and integrity in the conduct of parliamentary business.
Speaker urged Parliament to strengthen its oversight role by acting proactively rather than waiting for the Auditor General's reports after problems have already occurred. Speaker Oboth is against the practice of allocating resources for ceremonial donations by the Speaker without facilitating the parliamentary committees.
My expectation as Speaker is that when now you have these monies, you will not be asking for kitu kidogo from the ministries and departments and agencies.
The lead of government business in Parliament, Robina Nabanja, informed MPs of the need to support government and President Yoweri Museveni to move the country to the upper middle income status.
It is our responsibility to provide oversight of government programs as Parliament, including the flagship program of government, that is the parish development model, Emyoga, roads, health, to mention but a few, to ensure that these interventions transform the lives of Ugandans.
Nabanja appreciated the past parliaments for supporting the NRM manifesto, which has registered bigger achievements in service delivery. She also reminded the MPs of the key sectors aligned by the government to spur economic growth and create employment to the increasing numbers of unemployed youth.
To achieve this, government has prioritized 4 strategic growth drivers, commonly known as ATMs, and that is agro-industrialization, tourism development, mineral development, science, technology, and innovation.
The leader of opposition in Parliament, Joel Senyonyi, asked the leadership of Parliament to prevail against the repression of free media. Speaker Jacob Oboth was in agreement with the leader of opposition's submission, but also pledged to promote an open and transparent Parliament.
Right Honourable Speaker, you made it clear in your remarks shortly after being declared Speaker that the media should be able to operate freely. And those media houses that had been banned from accessing Parliament eventually returned. Today, we see the same media houses that belong to Nation Media Group being shut down arbitrarily because they are holding us leaders accountable.
We believe that when you are open, you'll be honest. So you can't fear the media. And the media would be our partner to transmit the information that we are doing to the members of public. So unless you Parliament, you say we should close.
Despite the politically charged environment, members of Parliament have pledged to focus on development and strengthen the oversight roles of Parliament.
We should be involved. We should check on these roads in prime time, in real time. What is happening? Are the roads going bad at this time? Before even you wait for the report. What is going on? Are the hospitals lacking medicine right now? Before the Auditor General tells us that, or in this period it lacked medicine. He wants us to say, now, is it lacking?
So this is the main gist of this training. And it's going a long way in enhancing our capability to debate. I've talked to many of my honorable MPs. Some of them, they actually have ideas in their minds, but how to raise them is a big issue. So with this training, people will gain the confidence to be able to raise matters of national importance, to contribute to debate meaningfully, because you see, the way you speak in Parliament is not the way you speak at a barrio in our village in Budadiri.
The Deputy Inspector of Government, Dr. Patricia Achan Okiria, reminded the MPs of the role to ensure state resources are allocated equitably in public interest as opposed to selfish interests.
Before you go into enacting laws, you've got to do detailed research. You've got to read, because leaders are readers. You're representing constituencies. Are you able to represent those constituencies impartially? Are you able to listen to the diverse views of the people and balance the local needs with the public good? Okay, can you tell between what is the local need and what is the public good?
The key take-home messages centered on the principles of good governance, to have a system of government based on good leadership styles, respect of rule of law, accountability of political leaders and institutions, as well as transparency.
The highest officers are expected to set the tone. To set the tone by leading by example, showing by example that corruption will not be tolerated.
So transformation depends on a mutual respect between the political leadership and the professional administration. The two of them have a shared responsibility, that is Parliament and public service. And for Uganda to achieve a sustainable transformation, Parliament must legislate wisely, allocate resources strategically, and exercise constructive oversight.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
We'll now take you to South Africa, and there, authorities in South Africa have beefed up security to prevent violence as protests related to xenophobia continue on the final deadline date issued by the anti-immigration groups demanding undocumented people or illegal immigrants to leave South Africa. Our reporter Ivan Juko reports that the situation and mood in affected communities as the Uganda government makes its first evacuation of Ugandan nationals trapped up in the volatile cities and towns in South Africa aboard the Uganda Airlines tonight.
Today, 30th June 2026, marks the D-Day for the self-declared deadline set by anti-immigration groups in South Africa, including March and Operation Dudula, demanding that undocumented immigrants leave the country. However, this is not an official South African government deadline, and the South African government has repeatedly stated that only the state has the authority to enforce immigration laws and has rejected vigilant action. Ugandans are among those affected by the directive, with many spending sleepless nights gathering their belongings and packing in preparation for departure. Some sought refuge at gazetted assembly centers designated by the Ugandan embassy in South Africa, while others reported directly to the embassy as they awaited further guidance and assistance.
We are very, very happy here that our president and his son, they accepted us to take us back home. We are very happy. Here we are in Pretoria, there are others in Joburg, there are others in Cape Town. Ambassador, we are very happy for helping us. Chairman, the president of all Ugandans, we are very happy.
And General Muhoozi, we really thank you so much that you have not taken this to the political level, that even us who keep the government at check on the opposition side, we have not received no welcome. We have felt welcome and we really appreciate. And I believe there are people here in the opposition side that are keeping the government at check. This initiative to repatriate Ugandans is non-partisan. Era tutuusa okwebaza eri buli yenna akitaddemu omukono.
With the mounting tension, panic and fear of immigrants' life, authorities in South Africa have deployed thousands of police officers and heightened security across South Africa to prevent violence as protests take place. Many foreign nationals have stayed indoors, while some have sought refuge at embassies, churches, or returned to their home countries. Uganda's High Commissioner to South Africa, His Excellency Paul Amol, together with the Ugandan community leaders living in South Africa, led by Moses Chibombo Sentongo, oversaw the final preparations.
Parents, you must ensure you have a consent letter from your
spouse or your partner. Because the issue of children is very important under international law. Where the father is, they have allowed, let him write. And if it's handwritten, it's even better. Write, take a picture or scan and send it to you. Please. We don't want cases where somebody is going to steal somebody's child. Please. No discussion on this.
Here and the others, they want to make it straight to the government. That most of them that I've seen here, some of them are in a situation where they left their things abandoned. They don't have money. I've got one lady who has been here saying he wanted just to get from him money, 200, so that can make it 50,000 to get transportation.
Go home.
Yeah. Through you, we are asking so that you put it to the government to help these people be facilitated to reach their homes.
South Africa hosts approximately 2.4 to 3.1 million international migrants, making up roughly 4 to 5% of the country's population. Ugandans form a small fraction, under 1% of this total, with official immigration records indicating at least 20,000 Ugandans reside there. According to migrant demographics, migration to South Africa is largely driven by regional mobility within the Southern African Development Community SADC. Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Lesotho, Malawi and the United Kingdom are the leading birth countries. In terms of regional distribution, the majority of foreign-born individuals reside in urbanized economic hubs, with the Gauteng province alone attracting over 20 to 28% of the migrant population. The first batch is expected to be in the country by tomorrow. Amwae Vanjuko for UBC.
Prime Minister Robin Anabanja has today opened the National Agricultural Trade Show in Jinja, calling on all farmers to embrace the new agricultural innovations to boost productivity.
The adding value on Jinga, there's the cassava flour here, then soya, rice, mixed, very nutritious solar powered projectors. You can use it without any need for power, for electricity. So
you can see that in Uganda we have the weather has changed in most parts of our country. As I speak now in my area, it's dry, seriously dry. And of course this is affecting our farmers, the poor farmers who cannot really have irrigation systems. And so Skip-on, according to what I saw in Japan, will help us to make sure that we continue to produce as expected. And so for me, I want to take this opportunity, because these people have gone through all the trials. And after these trials, today we have seen that Skip-on is the answer for our problems.
I'm happy that we are launching Skip-on today for God and my country.
We have been losing 40% in post-harvest handling. Some of the innovation in this show are easy to adopt. And therefore, we can save 40% that has been going to waste. And we have gone this journey. The demonstration there, which they did not show, is that the second line from where the boundary of Skip-on was actually cheating slowly from the nutrients of the Skip-on. And the yield was shrinking towards the other side. So I want to thank the organizers. We have all the vaccines needed to vaccinate cows, goats, sheep, pigs, and any other clothed animal. So the excuse of not reaching distant markets, the quarantine periods, are going to be history.
The agricultural show is a marketplace for ideas aimed at solving challenges in agriculture production and agro-processing. I urge all the show-goers to utilize this opportunity by marketing relevant inquiries. The NRM government continues to prioritize the agriculture subsector or the agriculture sector, since it is a key contributor to the development and socio-economic transformation. Despite the coming on board the other means of livelihoods for the population, agriculture still remains the main thrust of Uganda's economic growth.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mumutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu yakusabula. Mikono free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses like accounting and finance, procurement, journalism, tailoring and fashion design, with many other skills-tailored courses.
Our institution is compliant. First of all, it is recognized by National Council for Higher Education. We are certified. Registration number is UBB 187.
Tested and tried since 1995, Makerere Institute for Social Development is your solution when it comes to quality education.
You may apply for January, May, August intakes. Find us along Sir Apollo Kagwa Road, opposite Makerere University Sports Ground. Our tuition is affordable with a state-of-art facilities. Early birds stand a chance to grab themselves bursaries. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
There's a new way to keep your breath fresh all day. Introducing Movit All Day Toothpaste, meant to give you powerful night gum defense and teeth whitening. The charcoal flavor gives you deep cleansing and power stain removal. And the herbal delivers natural strength for healthy, confident smiles. Choose Movit All Day Toothpaste and enjoy freshness all day.
Welcome to Ingiko, the global brand delivering quality, innovation, and performance for professionals and homeowners. Discover our latest range of products that we deal in, like power tools, hand tools, PPE, generators, and general hardware items. Visit us at our different branches on 6th Street, Industrial Area, Kampala Road next to Mapera House, Entebbe Road opposite Housing Finance Bank. Visit our website at www.ingikotoolsuganda.com or call us on 0709 861 948 or 0779 491 855.
Ingiko, make the world in your hands.
I'm called Awidi Isabella. I'm studying from Villa Maria School of Nursing. I've won a school fees with the MTN Momo. This school fees you win for a full year, which I'm very happy for it. I thank MTN Momo for helping me in paying my school fees.
We've paid all the fees for the year.
Thank you very much, because on Wednesday The principal told me, look for my man and bring my man. I told her, me, I don't have man and you have to wait until I get the money. But when I left our office, at 3, they called me that you've won the money from Momo. I said, I said, how does it happen?
As long as you pay school fees using Momo, you stand a chance to win school fees for a year. Dial *165 *80# to win school fees for a year and more.
Welcome back from the break. It's UBC News Tonight. Police have reported a success in the recovery of vehicles using the Intelligent Transport Monitoring System, which was designed to track automobiles, prevent crime and aid investigations. Police spokesperson Rusoke Kituma says that 193 of the 247 stolen vehicles have been recovered since 2025.
The 2023 government introduced the electronic digital number plates for automobiles to enhance vehicle and motorcycle tracking, prevent and investigate crime and support traffic enforcement. Statistics from the Intelligent Transport Monitoring System show that about 350,000 government, private motor vehicles and motorcycles have been installed with the electronic technology.
4,500 government cars, 245,000 motorbikes, and 100,700 normal cars.
The new number plates have barcodes which are read by the existing AI-supported camera infrastructure. Wherever you pass, you leave a digital trail.
That AI-powered technology will know that number plate ABCD that belongs to Mr. Kawa passed here at this time. And it was being driven by this particular video, and we were able to get an image of that person because it captures a vivid and clear image.
There are efforts to improve the system for more effective operation after shortcomings were reported during the issuance of traffic tickets for violators.
In the earlier launch of the system, it did not capture borders. It was more on the cars. It was focusing on the cars. So we have since gone back, revisited the system, worked on the queries that were raised.
Motorcycle riders argue that the technology does not seem to be serving the intended purpose, saying many cases of stolen motorcycles remain unresolved.
Yajja wano omusabaze ng'amwakiramu yaŋŋambye yamutuusizza oba baatuuseewa n'alonda omulala abalala ebugoloobi baamukubye kalifomu ne bagitwala twakomye ogiraba ng'eri kitintale yeeyongerayo.
Olwali twakabbibwako bodaboda 4 naye nga ziriko digital number plate. Tewali piki yadde n'etya gye baali balabye. Tewali digital number kyetuyambe.
We score successes. People are arrested, exhibits are recovered, you get it. Then even having leads where you find that such a case you were not going to make any breakthrough. It was going to be very hard to even imagine how it was committed.
According to police, 247 cases of stolen motor vehicles and vandalized number plates were reported. 193 vehicles were recovered,
which represents a success story of roughly 78%.
However, 538 motorcycles were reported stolen. Only 100 were recovered.
We give these statistics only that, of course, we give them randomly as and when the breakthroughs are made. But if somebody was to trace our record, there is a very good success records, yes, associated with the deployment of anti-crime infrastructure, namely CCTV and all these others.
We have a fully fledged ITMS command center in Naguru that monitors the movement of these vehicles, motorbikes that are digitized on our roads.
After deploying all those anti-crime infrastructure, our expectations is one, that when offenses are committed, they should be reported in time.
The Police 2025 annual crime report shows a decline in overall reported crime, and government has continued to invest in national security systems. This financial year 2026-2027, the security sector was allocated 10 trillion shillings.
Minister for Local Government, Balam Belgahara, has halted eviction of sitting LC1s and 2s despite their expiry of service on the 28th of June 2026.
Do you want her to greet you first?
The Minister of Local Government, Balama Rugahara, who was accompanied by Junior Minister Justin Namere at Uganda Media Center, has announced the extension of waiver for LC1s and 2s office holders until the new administration is established.
This to inform the nation that the term of office of Administrative Council, Local Council 1 and Local Council 2 expired on 28th of this month, 2026. That is 1 day or 2 days ago. Pursuant to Regulation 12 of Local Government Council Regulation, Second Schedule of Local Government Act, Chapter 138, the current leaders at the village and parish will continue in executing their functions until new leadership assumes office.
The LC1s and 2s office holder chairpersons, their tenure of service expired on 28th June 2026, literally meaning any decision taken by them with effect from 28th June 2026 is not legally binding in accordance with the Electoral Commission and Multi-Party Act.
Consequently, the Electoral Commission has released a roadmap for the conduct of administrative unit, village and parish council and committee elections 2026, so that we complete our election cycle.
However, Minister Baram revealed that the mandate to extend the tenure of existing LCs and 2s falls under his docket and the Chief Executive.
So, according to the law, the Minister can give a directive or can make an instrument, but it's a limited instrument. I cannot give an instrument without approval of Cabinet for more than 1 month.
Despite the expiry of their tour of duty that is now overturned by the interim decree of stay in office, Minister Barugara appealed to the general public to fully embrace the forthcoming lower level elections as guided by the Electoral Commission earlier.
I call upon all of you to turn up in big number to exercise your democratic right to vote for the new council leader, as well as offer yourself for this leadership position.
But State Minister for Local Government Justin Namere was quick at issuing out the do's and don'ts for the expired chairpersons in the interim pending elections for the new administration.
But also to be rest assured that government is going to embark on a very organized and transparent process in making sure Ugandans all over the country in every sub-region have the leadership that they deserve and that they want.
Barugahara and a colleague emphasizes that LC's leadership structures play a vital role in the management of lower administrative units.
Specifically, the councils play roles in maintenance of security, law and order, in liaison with police and other security agencies.
Starting from 10th July 2026, the Electoral Commission will commence the election of lower-level leadership structures by initiating processes. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Minister asoma psychology.
A land dispute between residents of Busabala and the family of the late Yokana Senkungu has prompted intervention from the Office of the Senior Presidential Assistant for Special Duties, Fiona Varunji. Our reporter has it indeed.
During a community meeting held in Busabala Cell and attended by residents, local leaders and police officers, Barunji assured both parties that a thorough investigation would be conducted to establish the rightful ownership of the disputed land. She also reminded the public that the President's directive prohibiting the eviction or harassment of Vibanja holders on disputed land remains in force until investigations are concluded.
If we find out that it's true, that there is someone who owns the land and some other people are occupying the land as Vibanja owners, then definitely they can be put on a list to be compensated.
The disputed land is located on Block 259, Plot 16, Kazi, Busabala, in Masajja Town Council, Machinde Sabaga Municipality, Wakiso District. Addressing the meeting, Fiona Barungi gave both the complainants and the residents an opportunity to present their respective claims before the government officials.
yatugamba alina eka 82 abalamu twafuna Elizabeth Bavabuno agamba yagula ettaka lino
n'emyaka 58 najja kuno e Busabala n'emyaka 7 natandika okusambira ku kisaawe kino n'okukisaawe mwaka gwa 75
Kenya 4 acres. They are only people we are interested to recognize, and they recognize so they can get justice.
The family was represented by Margaret Gochalia, who accused some residents of illegally occupying their land and preventing them from making use of their property.
When did you get the title? Oyo mukyala omuyita ono otya? Weereza senga gw'oli muzukulu tomuzamu. Tegeregane nti ekisaawe bwe kiba kisaawe, that one is already in possession of something.
Ettaka ffe lye twogerako liri ku eka 4. Tetuli ku kasaawe kokka nga bwe kyogerwako. Nga muzeeyi waffe buli lwe yajjanga eno okubaako engeri gy'atereezaamu nga bamukuba lumu baali bamusse.
The residents, through their local council chairperson and other community members, argued that the land has been claimed by different individuals over the years and is associated with multiple land titles, making ownership unclear.
Waliwo abantu bangi abalina claim ku ttaka lino.
Ttaka lino lye boogerako eririko ebyapa by'owulidde ebyetuddeko ne bakola obuguzi wakati waabwe n'omukulu gwe bayita Lubega Mustafa Kibirango.
And today what I found out is that there is a problem of overlapping land titles from Ministry of Lands as usual.
After listening to both sides, Barungi pledged to work with relevant government institutions to conduct a comprehensive investigation aimed at establishing the facts and ensuring that justice prevails.
Be patient, nga bwe nabagambye ettaka terifunda, mpandiikire Office ya Land Protection Unit. So I decided to go and ask Land Protection Unit to come and investigate so that they can find out the problem rotating around this land.
They share an office. Some work in the day, some at night. What they have in common: focus, dedication. That's what makes them champions. They also share something else: the reward of being one. The official beer of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Not for persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
The financial year 2026-27 kicks off tomorrow with newly proposed taxes coming into effect. Traders have expressed their thoughts on how new taxes and tax increments on various commodities should be implemented.
The national budget for the financial year 2026-2027 comes into effect tomorrow, with various priorities projected to consume 84.3 trillion Ugandan shillings. According to government, 44.18 trillion will be raised from taxes collected.
The financing strategy for financial year 2026-2027 seeks to create additional fiscal space to finance government priorities while maintaining debt sustainability. This will be achieved through, number 1, strengthening tax administration and compliance. 2, introducing targeted tax policy measures to increase domestic revenue.
To achieve this, government introduced new taxes and tax increments on various businesses and commodities like clothes, sugar, fuel, cement and building materials. However, in a mixed reactions of ideas, traders expressed their thoughts on how best they will operate their businesses and cognizant of tax compliance.
Expect that these businesses, it is going to continue. It is still moving on. But there is some changes that have been made in URA. So we are calling upon all our customers, those are traders outside Kampala and the other cities and municipalities. Think about those increased taxes that we have, that the government has made in this year. Starting with tomorrow, all commodities, all goods and services, they are going to be increased.
But also, they advise government on how to handle them when tax compliance fails due to conditions beyond their control.
For us, we are calling upon our government to consult the leaders of traders, to work with them so that some changes can be made in the URA. Because when we work together, automatically we can help these traders, at least that one it can help, and we increase on our tax base.
Joseph Chigozi Gorola reporting for UBC.
Inaugural Future Stars National School Scrabble Championship ended successfully at Gayaza Junior School in Wakiso District, attracting over 130 learners from primary and secondary schools across the country. The tournament served as the official qualifier for the 2026 World Youth Scrabble Championship in Nairobi, Kenya. Gayaza Junior School and Parental Care Primary excelled in the primary category, while Wampeo Take Secondary School dominated the secondary division. Organizers praised the high standard of competition and urged them to continued support for young players. Wakiso District Sports Officer Brian Senyonga commended the initiative for promoting critical thinking, vocabulary development, and healthy competition among learners.
Schools are going to represent us. So we have a total of 89 pupils that are in primary who are taking part in this tournament. Then also we have about 41 which are taking part in secondary. I want to thank the sponsors for having come on board to see that this thing happens. And also I want to thank the host school, that is Gayaza Junior, for giving us the venue for the tournament to happen. Then also I call upon all schools to come on board next year when such a tournament comes in, so that we can be able to promote sports.
Most importantly, Wampeo Take Senior Secondary School took the day in both boys and girls. And in the primary category, we had Parental Bushenyi, who took the boys section, and our host Gayaza managed to defend their home turf by taking the accolade for the best girls in the primary schools. This tournament was the first, but we do know that we're going to have several others of these. And like we did say, the best, we managed to pick the best who are going to represent us in Kenya for the World Youth Scrabble Championship. And we do know that they will be able to perform the best of their abilities because they've managed to prove each other they are good players.
I would like to regard this achievement as one of my best because I had never experienced being the MVP of a tournament, but finally I've made it after my hard work. I would like to thank the headmaster, the sports department at Wampeo, and the Scrabble Association in Uganda. It has done a very great job so that we can exhibit our skills.
We've won gold in the girls category. Though I wasn't the MVP, but most of my friends were the MVP, and we won lots of stuff. It all came about due to the hard work of our coach and our team captain, and also our school in general. It centers more on sports, and yeah, together with academics, and we are always striving to do better. And now we're on the road to Nairobi, and we also qualified for national games, so we are so happy.
To the end of all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukoma with Elizabeth Nakakon and the whole team. Wish you the best of the night. Bye-bye.
inspiring Uganda.
The World Football Spectacle is here! From the vibrant cities of Canada, the passion of Mexico, and the grand stages of the United States, the FIFA World Cup 2026 is set to ignite the planet. Every goal, every save, every moment of glory, live and unforgettable on UBC TV and all its radio stations. From the streets of Rio to the night and day. Follow Africa's finest, football's biggest stars, and the battle for the most converted trophy in world football. Where legends rise, dreams come alive, and history is made. UBC is the home of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Stay tuned to UBC TV and all UBC's radio stations, bringing the world to Uganda, one match at a time.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has bewitched Ugandans?
I want to assure you, as government, we shall do whatever it takes to ensure that Ugandans are safe.
We have conversations that have analysis, explanation.
This law society, this union of theirs, because they want a job everywhere, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want... No. We know it's a union.
You cannot be making a road, bitumen grade 1, in Congo for 5 billion.
But not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth.
The argument that the General Court Martial is responsible for peace and stability is without basis.